Tennessee State head coach Eddie George. Tigers played at number 2 ranked North Dakota State this past week. This week they're going to be back in action. The Southern Heritage Classic in Memphis. Arkansas Pine Bluff is the opponent. So, Coach, thoughts on the Tigers, and then we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, going back to last week, I had a chance to review the film. Now, first of all, it was a great honor and a privilege to play at North Dakota State University, the gold standard for really any program, whether it's FBS or FCS. They've been able to do it at a very high level for an extended period of time, and I had a chance to see firsthand of what it takes to get to that level of play. Our kids played hard. I saw some glimpses of what we can do, what we can be. What it showed me is that, hey, we're just not there yet. We're not at that level yet where we can compete. And in terms of making mistakes and overcoming those mistakes, a team like that will punish you for just the slightest error that you make during the course of a game, whether that's being not fitting at the right gap or not having your eyes in the right place, missing a blocking assignment. They will take advantage of that, and we saw that firsthand. And again, I saw some good things out from our defense where we were physical in the trenches against a very good offensive line. I felt like at times our offensive line played well, but it was in spurts. So the lesson learned is that, okay, if that is the standard, we now have the blueprint of what it now takes to play at that level. And that's to finish stronger, finish hard, practice with intention, practice with urgency. Not that we haven't before, but it takes it to another complete level as far as that. But for the most part, as you try to look at those type of losses, and you try to pull out the positives, and that's what you do. And you just have to focus on, hey, we just got to continue to get better and grow.
Thanks, Coach. We'll go to questions. Mike Organ, you're up first.
Hey, Eddie, you're playing an HBCU this week. It's your second one in 3 games. You're playing 3 this season. The fans have asked for that. Can you talk about that, the importance of playing fellow HBCUs and what it means for the school, for the program and the school?
Well, we are an HBCU, and our fan base, we love to play other HBCUs. It's part of the culture. It's always been that way. There's some great ball played between some great brands in HBCU football. This is our second year playing Arkansas Pine Bluff. I thought it was very successful last year. We used to play Jackson State. That's the natural rival for this matchup. But I just believe that it's great for the brands, the pageantry of college football, Black college football. When you have 2 brands like that comes together, it's not just about the game. It's about everything else around the game, the events, the families that you bring to the game, the friends that you may come across. It's really a gathering opportunity for our fan base to get together and celebrate. And the game is a part of that. So here it is again. We'll be in Memphis, anticipating an awesome crowd, a really competitive game. And this is the second one, like you mentioned, of the 3 that we're going to play. And of course, we play Howard at their homecoming, which is historic in itself. Howard's homecoming is always an event that everybody tries to get to. And for us to be a part of that is it's going to be a great deal. So we're excited to have this opportunity.
You mentioned Jackson State, and of course, it's Southern Heritage Classic, and this is a Southern Heritage Classic. It was on some shaky ground there for a little bit, but it seems to be back on solid footing. How happy are you about that?
Extremely happy. Again, Memphis is a strong footprint for us, for our recruiting ground, for us to go into, find other recruits, to establish relationships with the local high schools. It's also great for our alumni base, because that's where most of our alumni is from, Memphis. So it's like going home, so to speak, and it's a good location for Jackson State, but now Arkansas Pine Bluff to get to and to establish the same footprint. So again, really excited that we were able to save the game, try to save the rival, and hopefully sometime down the line, we look at reigniting that rivalry game against Jackson State, whether it be the Southern Heritage Classic or some other type of classic in the future.
Okay, and finally, from me, I hated to see you lost Mike again for the season. How did you come out of this game as far as injury wise?
We came out pretty well, pretty clean. That was a good thing. In a physical game like that, you hold your breath in terms of you don't want to get any major players hurt. We got banged up a little bit, but nothing that's season ending. Maybe a couple guys may have to heal up for a couple of games here and there as we approach our conference games, but for the most part, we came out pretty clean. We feel pretty good about where we are health wise.
Okay, thanks, Eddie. I'll see you this afternoon.
Thanks, Mike. Will do.
We'll go to Brandon King then. Go ahead, Brandon.
Hey. Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
Hey, Brandon. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Bringing it back to Pine Bluff, who you'll be facing this week. In looking at their first two games, it's kind of similar to you all in that their first game they played Arkansas, and that went one way. And then they played Arkansas Baptist, and they were kind of the bully on the other side of that.
Right.
So look at it, and you study, film and getting prepared. When the games are kind of two extremes like that, and they've obviously got a lot of new personnel, does that make kind of getting prepared a little difficult in terms of that? Because you see them, kind of in two ends of the
extremes spectrum. Yeah, absolutely. I know it does, because you see one instance where they're not showing a lot against Arkansas. The first game where they didn't have a tremendous success, and then the next game they're just bludgeoning this opponent, and they're just doing it with base stuff. So you don't really understand what you're going to see from them. But having played them last year, we'll look at that film and see what their tendencies are, see what's changed throughout the year. I look at their last three ball games. Going back to last year, they were able to come back, have a come from behind victory on the road against Texas Southern, which they put up 35 points, and they put up 73 points last week. So they're capable of putting up points against liked opponents. So they've improved in that regard. They've gotten some new personnel, like you mentioned. They play hard. They're very physical, and they gave us a run for our money, late in the game last year. So it's a team that doesn't quit. They're well coached. So when you look at, what they're able to do, I don't think they'll stray too far away from what they're known for. We kind of understand what they do structurally and schematically with both sides of the football. But we anticipate, some different twist or different looks or some different tendencies that they may stray away from when we face off this Saturday.
Okay. And then just kind of coming back, because you touched on it a lot in terms of coming back from Fargo and some of the things, kind of, as you put it, getting a look up close and personal in terms of what you aspire your program to be in terms of seeing it up close. Immediately as you getting back to Nashville and everything, what were some things that you are able to implement in terms of immediately that you saw North Dakota State do that you can say, all right, we can start doing this now, and this is going to immediately and positively impact our program?
Playing with the sense of urgency. The one thing that really stood out to me, their first unit was tremendous. Quarterback play was phenomenal, and that's years of for them establishing a program, a system. We got kids that have been in that system for 4 or 5 years, and they know it. And where we are, this is my yet another new offense I'm installing. We have 35 so new players, so we're still in the process of getting to know one another in that regard, trust one another, build a culture, so to speak. So the culture piece is one thing that's long term. But what we can do is understand, and I've talked about this, what it means to finish and what it means to play at a high level and to play with exceptional effort and to give that effort, relentlessly for 4 quarters, regardless of if you're a starter, a backup, third string, fourth string. So when their third and fourth string players came in, you couldn't tell if they were a starter or not because they played with that type of intensity and it was built in. So, I've been preaching it, I've been saying it, and now I have an example to say, okay, I told you what it looks like to finish, what it looks like to play with the relentless effort for beyond the whistle. That is it. That's the standard. And it's not done on Saturday. It's done Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, over and over again, not one day and then regress back to old habits. So it's in alignment with everything that I've been talking about in terms of championship habits. And it was a great lesson learned.
Thank you, Coach, and wishing you good luck this weekend. Hope to see you this weekend.
All right, Brandon. Thank you, brother.
All right.
Coach.
Take care now.
Coach, thanks for your time. Best of luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.